What will happen with the Jeep Gladiator with all these new trucks being announced by Stellantis? The revived Ram Dakota is sliding into the midsize slot, while a new Jeep Comanche is aimed straight at the compact crowd. And sitting in the middle of all that noise is the Gladiator, the same Wrangler with a bed setup we've known since day one. The truck earned its stripes early, but the market's moved fast, and the Gladiator hasn't exactly sprinted to keep up. These days, versatility is the key, and Jeep knows it has to turn a few new pages if it wants this truck to stay relevant. That said, the story isn't over. There are 4 key moves the truck maker could make that would put the 2027 Gladiator right back in the hot zone, not just as an off-road toy, but as a genuinely smart pickup choice. Let's get into what those moves should be. First, redesign. Jeep pulled off something clever when the Gladiator first dropped. Borrow the Wrangler's charm, stretch it out a bit, bolt on a bed, and boom, instant credibility. It made sense at launch, but that formula's been running on fumes for a while now. Truth is, the Wrangler is a fantastic off-roader, but its shape and proportions don't automatically translate into a well-rounded pickup. Some buyers loved the familiarity. Others always felt like they were staring at a Wrangler that wandered into the wrong department. If the 2027 Gladiator wants a fresh shot at relevance, it has to stop mimicking Big Bro and finally stand on its own sheet metal. We're in a moment where boxy rigs are creeping back into fashion, which is great, but Jeep can't just square it off. This truck needs cleaner edges, smoother lines, and a stance that looks purpose-built, not repurposed. It needs to feel intentional from bumper to bumper. The goal is pretty simple. Break free from the Wrangler's shadow. Give the Gladiator a look that says, pickup first, trail machine second, instead of the other way around. If Jeep nails that balance in 2027, the redesign could be the turning point the truck's been waiting for. Second, bring back diesel. Here's something Jeep shouldn't ignore. One of the Gladiator's quiet superpowers has always been its V6. In a world where every midsize truck seems to be shrinking into a Turbo 4, there's still a massive crowd of drivers who won't even consider anything with fewer than 6 cylinders. And with emissions rules taking a breather for the moment, enough for Stellantis to slip the Hemi V8 back into the Ram 1500, there's a real opening here. The next logical move: dust off the 3-liter eco-diesel, retune it, and bring it back to the Gladiator roster. That engine had its fans, lots of them. Some drivers stuck with the Gladiator specifically because it still offered a naturally aspirated setup. Put an oil burner option back on the menu for 2027, and suddenly you've got a truck that appeals to an even broader slice of traditionalists. Number 3. Launch 4xe. Even with emissions rules relaxing for a bit, the truck world is speeding toward cleaner tech. A strong V6 keeps the traditional crowd happy. A diesel would bring back the torque fans, but a plug-in hybrid is what signals real intent for the future. Stellantis hit pause on the Gladiator 4xe project, but that move needs to fast forward as soon as possible. The recipe is already proven. The Wrangler 4xe uses a 2-liter turbocharged unit paired with 2 electric motors, making a combined 375 horsepower and 470 pound-feet. A 17 kilowatt-hour battery pack delivers 20 to 22 miles of electric-only driving. Dropping that same setup into the 2027 Gladiator would do more than check a technology box. A 4xe wouldn't replace the old-school powertrains. It would round out the lineup and prove that Jeep isn't clinging to the past. It's expanding the toolbox in a way that actually fits how people use trucks today. 4. Get rid of death wobble. Talk to any longtime Jeep owner and you'll hear the same story sooner or later. That sudden, violent steering shake everyone knows as the death wobble. It doesn't happen to every Gladiator, but the fact that it can happen at all still scares off a chunk of buyers. The root cause usually comes down to a mix of steering geometry, solid front axle quirks, worn components, and sometimes just tolerances that aren't tight enough from the factory. Off-road rigs can get away with that stuff because they're built around articulation and durability. But a truck competing in the midsize market needs to be locked down and drama-free at highway speeds. If Jeep finally tackles this issue head-on for the 2027 Gladiator with better steering dampers, tighter control arms, refined geometry, improved bushings, maybe even a revised axle setup, the payoff would be huge. Suddenly, the pickup isn't just the rugged trail machine. It becomes the do-everything rig it always had the potential to be. Fixing the death wobble doesn't just solve a mechanical headache. It transforms the Gladiator into a more confident, more versatile truck. And that's exactly the kind of change that can help it stand tall in an increasingly crowded segment. So there you have it, the 4 key ingredients that could shape the perfect recipe for the 2027 Jeep Gladiator. Is there any flavor you'd add to the mix? Drop it in the comment section. I'm always curious to hear what other truck fans would tweak or toss in. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you soon with more reviews.